Did Joe Biden just deliver a devastating blow to Donald Trump's economic legacy? In a fiery exchange during their recent presidential debate, President Biden confronted the lingering effects of his predecessor's policies on the nation's economy. As the debate unfolded, the economy emerged as a pivotal issue, with President Biden under scrutiny for the persistent inflation and rising costs facing Americans. He defended his administration's actions while pointing to the dire circumstances inherited from the previous administration. In this video, we delve into how Joe Biden exposed the economic challenges left by Donald Trump during their debate. From soaring inflation to job losses, we analyze Biden's critique and the implications for voters as the election season heats up. This pivotal moment unfolds on the stage of the CNN presidential debate, broadcast live across CNN's global platforms. With just over 4 months until Election Day, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump engage in a rematch for the nation's highest office, hosted by Dana Bash, anchor of CNN's Inside Politics, and Jake Tapper, anchor of The Lead and co-anchor of State of the Union. This debates hold immense significance in shaping public opinion, offering a direct view into how candidates tackle critical issues like economic policy. When Jake Tapper said, "Let's start with the issue that voters consistently say is their top concern, the economy," Biden seized the opportunity to deliver a stinging critique of Trump's economic legacy. "When I took office, I inherited an economy in freefall due to mishandling of the pandemic. Unemployment soared to 15%, and Americans suffered immensely." Biden stated,
"We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in freefall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right."
With these words, Biden laid bare the consequences of Trump's pandemic response, painting a grim picture of widespread unemployment and economic distress. His remarks underscored a sharp contrast in economic stewardship, highlighting his administration's efforts to rebuild amidst significant challenges inherited from the previous administration. In a pivotal moment during the debate, Joe Biden, drawing from his personal roots in Scranton, Pennsylvania, delivered a passionate critique of the current economic landscape, emphasizing his administration's commitment to tackling key issues facing American families. "I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania, where I understand firsthand the financial struggles faced by families," Biden said.
"We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents so corporate greed can't take over.
"The combination of what I inherited and corporate greed are why we're facing these challenges. In addition, we've made significant progress, creating jobs and drastically lowering prescription drug costs for all Americans." Biden's heartfelt remarks drew attention to his personal connection to economic issues, resonating with voters concerned about rising costs. His pledge to address housing affordability and combat corporate influence underscores his proactive stance. By critiquing the previous administration's economic management and highlighting achievements like job creation and healthcare reforms, Biden positioned himself as a leader committed to economic fairness and stability. This narrative aims to bolster support among voters looking for tangible solutions to everyday financial challenges, solidifying Biden's image as a candidate ready to address pressing economic concerns. However, Trump defended his administration's economic record confidently. He touted the pre-pandemic economy as the best in history and credited his handling of COVID-19 for preventing a depression-like crisis. He said,
"By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good."
But that's not true. During Trump's presidency, budget deficits surged despite promises that his 2017 tax cuts would be self-sustaining. Inherited at $585 billion, the deficit climbed to $984 billion by 2019 and skyrocketed above $3 trillion in 2020 due to pandemic impacts, according to the White House Office of Management and Budget. A May Gallup poll revealed that about 30% of Americans identified the economy as the nation's foremost concern, encompassing various economic issues. Specifically, approximately 10% cited the high cost of living or inflation. Additionally, about 20% of respondents highlighted immigration as the top issue, while another 20% pointed to government dysfunction or poor leadership. Well, when it was Biden's turn to speak, He debunked all of Trump's claims regarding economic and military success. He said,
"Well, look, the greatest economy in the world, he's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he had the greatest economy in the world."
He then highlighted Trump's record-breaking deficits, larger than any other president's in a single term, contrasting with promises of economic revitalization. Biden said,
"He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term."
Biden's critique extended to Trump's job creation claims, pointing out that Trump was one of the few presidents, alongside Herbert Hoover, to oversee a net loss of jobs during his tenure. This critique aimed to dispel Trump's claims of substantial economic progress. Furthermore, Biden criticized Trump's handling of military matters. Biden asserted,
"The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did."
This statement aimed to highlight Biden's commitment to reducing U.S. military involvement overseas and maintaining global stability without American casualties. Jake Tapper then pressed Trump on his proposed 10% tariff and its potential impact on consumer prices. Trump defended the tariff, asserting that it would compel countries like China to pay the U.S., reduce the deficit, and enhance American leverage in global trade. He justified his economic policies by claiming credit for the largest tax cut and deregulation in U.S. history, attributing job creation to these measures. Trump sharply criticized Biden's economic stewardship, disputing Biden's claims about inheriting low inflation and blaming the Biden administration for subsequent economic challenges. Trump also contrasted his planned Afghanistan withdrawal with Biden's execution, claiming his own approach would have been more dignified. He stated,
"And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life."
President Trump staunchly defended his tax cuts as pivotal in propelling what he termed as the most robust economy in U.S. history, both pre- and post-COVID-19. Emphasizing the corporate tax reduction and increased revenue, he argued these measures positioned the U.S. to tackle debt and exploit domestic energy resources. Trump stated,
"The country was going like never before, and we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet."
However, Trump's assertions overlooked the stark reality of escalating budget deficits during his administration, contradicting claims of fiscal prudence. Tapper's pointed question highlighted concerns about extending tax cuts amidst ballooning deficits, reflecting voter anxieties over economic management as the elections approach. When prompted by Jake Tapper about the national debt during the debate, President Biden quickly pivoted to critique former President Trump's fiscal policies. Biden highlighted Trump's record-breaking national debt accumulation over his presidency, underscoring the $2 trillion tax cut that primarily benefited the wealthy. Biden stated,
"He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy."
Biden's proposed tax reforms aimed at increasing taxes on billionaires from their current effective rate of 8.2% to 24% or 25% could potentially generate $500 billion over a decade. This statement aimed to emphasize his administration's commitment to tax fairness and revenue generation to address national fiscal challenges. By proposing that billionaires pay a fairer share, Biden highlighted his focus on reducing income inequality and ensuring that the wealthy do not disproportionately benefit. This approach aims to alleviate the national debt and fund essential services, presenting a clear commitment to economic justice and sustainable fiscal policies for voters. After explaining his plan to increase taxes on billionaires, Biden highlighted the benefits of this approach. He stated,
"We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our health care system."
Biden's argument underscores a commitment to addressing the national debt and enhancing public services. By targeting billionaires who pay a lower effective tax rate, Biden's plan aims to generate significant revenue that could be used to fund essential programs. This approach is designed to appeal to voters who are concerned about economic inequality and the sustainability of social programs. In response, Trump accused Biden of harming Medicare and Social Security. Trump said,
"This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare."
Trump's critique aims to instill fear about the sustainability of Medicare and Social Security under Biden's administration. However, these claims lack concrete evidence and appear to be more about stirring concern than presenting factual arguments. Trump's approach contrasts with Biden's focus on using increased tax revenue to bolster social programs. By painting a dire picture of Biden's policies, Trump hopes to sway voters worried about the future of these critical programs. Reflecting on the debate, it was clear that Biden effectively countered Trump's claims with substantiated facts, highlighting critical economic issues and the mismanagement of the previous administration. Trump's assertion that his tax cuts spurred unprecedented economic growth was debunked with data showing ballooning deficits and ineffective fiscal policies. Biden's strong rebuttal, emphasizing that taxing billionaires could significantly reduce the national debt and fund essential services, showcased his commitment to economic justice and fiscal responsibility. Statements like,
"We'd be able to wipe out his debt,"
demonstrated Biden's focus on practical solutions over rhetoric. Biden's clear, factual responses highlighted the tangible benefits of his administration's actions, such as strengthening health care and addressing inequality. The debate's outcome could significantly influence voter perceptions, with Biden's factual, policy-driven arguments standing in contrast to Trump's rhetoric. For undecided voters and those prioritizing economic issues, Biden's performance likely strengthened his position, presenting him as a candidate with a clear, actionable plan for the country's future. What are your thoughts on how Biden countered Trump's claims in the debate? Share your opinions in the comments. If you found this analysis valuable, please like, subscribe, and share our video for more insightful political coverage. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos covering key campaign policies, latest strategies, and expert interviews. Don't miss out. Hit the notification bell to stay informed.